Good evening, Professor Kammerling. My name is Donovan Gatling, and I am doing my video presentation for you from my paper, which is Where's the Magic? And is studying the origins of magical creatures. Um, I chose this topic because I've always been fascinated with the unknown world and magical creatures and what could be out there but we just don't know of. And I've always been a sci-fi film type of guy, um, such as Alien versus Predator, Planet of the Apes, Star Wars, Star Trek. Me and my dad always been good fans of Lord of the Rings and other movies that I just mentioned. And also, I was terrified of leprechauns when I first watched the movie. I think it was back in 2003. Not too particularly sure, but it definitely scared me. And my aunt always told me that she had a little elf helper in this tiny door in the basement of her house. I always wanted to open the door, but I don't have time to figure out if she was telling the truth or not. So that's why I chose this topic. I thought it was really cool and important. Just like that's why I was very interested in this class. And in my PowerPoint, I discussed what is magic, and basically, my definition would be the explanation for the unexplainable. If it doesn't have anything to do with religion and science, which is mostly the human nature way of believing things and finding out information, it had to be the explanation for stuff we can't explain. And during my research in my project, I had some interesting facts about the fairies. Now, I always believe that, fairies, they fly around, they grant wishes, and they're peaceful little creatures. But no, it turns out there are a lot of dark fairies that exist and that have completely different tasks. Some help people, some kill, and most of them were in the forest, which is pretty well known, but the depth of how many different types of fairies there are due to Irish and British and other ideologies and beliefs had for them. And also leprechauns. And I also, what was interesting about that, more I did my research and different things, it really seems like leprechauns were just dwarfs that had very great style and taste in clothing and could make some shoes. And just so happened to be very rich. And I guess if you caught them, I mean, if a human is regular size, around like me, like 6'3", it'd be pretty hard to escape. So I guess they would have to give up some of their gold. So I thought that was really interesting how I manifested my thought process on that. And the interesting fact I learned about banshees were that they weren't all evil, and that they had an important message of telling certain families that death is going to come to the family in some shape or form, and that also could have given the family members some type of closure to see who's going to die, or just know that there's another force out there that has the ability to let them know that there's somebody that's going to die. Or it could have been just a woman wailing, and every time she cried, somebody was about to die. So I found that story very, very interesting. And in my conclusion, I do believe that there is magic almost everywhere, and that I believe that magic is the reason for why what religion can explain, what science can't define. And I think that's what gives these magical creatures their history and their story. And it's all due to perception. Perception of the person who claimed they encountered this magical creature, or claimed that it had some type of influence on them. And I believe that the magic is really coming from us deep inside and our imaginations, to believe that there are things that we can't explain, and there are things that we've seen that just possibly doesn't make sense. So that is what my presentation was about. I really enjoyed this class and I really love this topic. And I think you're going to love the PowerPoint. Thank you.